The Stories of History Most Evil Murderers. This is The Serial Killers. That's the name of it. Serial Killers by Brian Ians. I hope I said that right, like most of my videos. I hope I say it right, because I usually don't. So this one actually has, like, pictures of the serial killers, and it's not, like, in-depth as certain books that you read that go into the serial killer's childhood and adolescence and adulthood and, like, what they did to each individual victim that they had. It's not quite like that. This one is just more of a broad overview. So, like, in the beginning, there's this little blip. Oh, it's so washed out looking. So it'll have, like, you know, stages of violence is one of the examples that it has in here. So it's like, it defines what a serial killer is. So what exactly makes a serial killer, because there is a difference between serial killers and people, not guys, but just people who go, like, berserk and go on a killing spree. There's a difference between those two, because serial killers have actual time in between their murders. Like, they go on, like, a rest before they kill again until they hit that last berserker streak, like Ted Bundy. And when he got caught in the very end, he kind of just, like, snapped, and he ended up killing, like, what was it, 8 women in, like, one night or something crazy. So there's, like, an introduction, and then it goes through and it talks about the serial killers, and it's really only, like, a couple pages per serial killer. Like, this one is 4 pages for one serial killer. So that's really not a lot to actually get in depth for, you know, what really was going on psychologically in their heads, and it's just not super in depth. Now, I got this book 10 years ago, maybe over 10 years ago. It was released in 2006. So I at least got it 10 years ago. So at the time, this was, you know, internet was around, but it wasn't, like, super big. So this was a really good book because I found it very insightful, and it kind of helped feed my interest into serial killers, and I really liked it and I really enjoyed it. I have only used it more recently, not for conversation starters, but, like, if me and one of my girlfriends are talking about serial killers, I'll, like, grab it and be like, hey, look at this, let's read through it. But I mean, most of the stuff you can find on the internet, but I would recommend this book if you have a little, you know, mini obsession with serial killers. This is kind of like a nice read, which sounds terrible because it's about serial killers, but it is a good book. It is not my only book on serial killers. I do have other ones that I will be sharing eventually, but I wanted to give this one its little moment to shine.